Hey OIS, welcome, and here you go, you see me once more. This time, I was aiming this video a bit earlier than right now, but actually I had, some days, I had better than them. Anyway, Mr. has asked me to do this video, and before that I really wanted to do it. I'm dedicating it and aiming it actually at the president of the student union, the new one, of course. It hurts me to say so, but that's how life goes. Along with his team and the rest of the OIS, my second home, of course. Let me start this with a clear sentence. Um, I'm glad to actually say that I wasn't the best leader you could have ever met, but I'm really sure that I had the best team we'd have ever seen. And this is just proved by what they have achieved throughout the year, and I'm really proud of that. Okay, what actually made me remember the SU is a perfect event made today at my college, and I saw the SU working perfectly, but I couldn't just go in because I'm in the land of the Nile and it says hello, of course, people. I know you miss it, but you'll be back soon, don't worry. Anyway, so saying that here in Egypt, we have the politics class along with the SU and so on, and of course the studies are not that easy. It happens that I'm the only one in my section. Of course, I chose personally. Just telling you a brief background on what I'm doing right now. I'm just in the Manchester program for now, at least, and it's of course it's in Egypt, and I'm just alone, and it's quite difficult to study along with practicing the SU and so on. So I just prefer not to involve in such matters right now. But I have to admit that it's killing a large part of me, because it's literally killing it because it's part of me. The SU is part of me. Anyway, getting the personal things aside, okay, this video, I'm just gonna take parts out of it. Disadvantages, advantages, and my suggestions for the USU. Of course, this is suggestions from someone coming from the streets. You don't have to take them. You don't have to take them, sorry. So let me start with the disadvantages. I would say the first disadvantage is your studies. Of course, your studies will be deeply affected. On the personal basis, I got my quizzes. Sometimes I had to go to quiz, and I actually didn't study. And of course, I'm one of those who don't cheat. So I don't want to say one of the few, but one of those who don't cheat. So you know what I do. And the second thing, in the exams, of course, yeah, for example, history quizzes. Yeah, the history quiz, I remember, it needs a lot of studying, and of course, all my time is dedicated to the SU. So when can I study? Forget about that. Good memories. And the sociology, for example, in the exam, it needed quite continuous studies. Physics, for example, needed some that I need to attend most classes. Then it happened. I tried to manage my time, but it was really difficult, because the SU was just building up, and building up is really the hardest thing of everything. So this is the first disadvantage. That's the studies. You have to manage your time. And alhamdulillah, you can take me as an example. At the end, I tried to manage my studies. I got them at 40% out of studying and not for anything else. And I got actually pretty well under that score in SAT 1 and SAT 2. Trying to time manage everything, of course. Let's go to the second disadvantage. It's a personal problem, actually, that you will certainly that I had with my friends, because you take the position of the SU president. You actually, let's not say forget your friends, but you deal with everyone equally, and that's a problem. My friends came to me, "You're ignoring me. How come I'm your friend and you don't even talk to me as much as you talk to that guy who's not your friend?" Whereas the SU lets you deal with all sorts of people, friend, no friend. And friends just get I won't say jealousy, but that's their right on me that should talk to them. I told them the truth. I told them right now in my position, I should deal with everyone, and you have to have you have to maintain good relationships with everyone, and that's not easy. So that's a problem. Problem with friends, and of course, let me say this indirectly, the politics kitchen and let me say the underbelt games that will happen in the SU. But you'll get over them. They eventually happen, and they let you get more mature. What other disadvantages? The problems inside the SU members, and along with the SU, the girls. Of course, we do events together, boys and girls. So sometimes we take from the experience of each other. For example, our organization committee once did the career day, and we gave our organization time to the girls. There's nothing wrong in that. On the other hand, sorry, it just helps in developing better communications. And what can I say is that, for example, a problem happened once that between one of the heads. Of course, I don't communicate with the heads of the girls section. Each head from my SU deals with the head on the other side. Once upon a time, a problem happened between both of them. So I talked to the head in the girls section. What's the problem? She said he's mistaken. Gave me work that the teacher didn't actually give. The teacher was upset for me. He's a problem. Of course, the first thing you do is not insult your teammate and say, "Yeah, he always does that." That's not a right thing to do. In such a position, you would say, "Okay, I heard the story from you. Let's hear it from him. You hear it from him. Try to solve it. Build a connection bridge. Here you go. Simple as that. You're the president, right?" That's it for the disadvantages, really. I'll go furthermore on the advantages. The advantages of being in the SU. First of all, I would say being in the SU is actually a voluntary task, as most of you would say. Um, Voluntary tasks, you actually like to think of voluntary tasks as optional. I hate this word voluntarily. I hate this word optional. You have that word من يساعد الناس يساعده الله. So you can actually think of it that way. I'm helping people, so who would help me? The best of creation, and who would better help you other than Allah? So that's the point, and that's number one, of course, on my list, on my top list. And the second thing is developing time management, as I talked about that time management thing. For example, I give you that if I tell you about the beginning of the year. Okay, I actually start. Let me go a bit backward from since the times I were a vice president. Okay, it didn't take much of my time because we didn't do much when I was an 11th grader. Then we went on to be in 12th grade. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of time from us. Sometimes I had to be on the phone for 6 hours, consecutive hours, and would have been a problem. Oh yeah, one more disadvantage. The parents, they nagged me a lot about that. Of course, the studies, I was ignoring them to a certain point. That's a problem. They say no pain, no gain. You have to sacrifice one thing, but it shouldn't be your studies. Okay, I sacrificed them for a certain period. Then I came back and said, all right, why don't we reverse the situation? Think you work in the SU as an advantage. How's that? Really, the time you mean? Okay, if you don't have an SU, what would you do? Study 2 pages, 3 pages in 6 hours because you have nothing to do. Just study. Okay, how about if I work on the SU for 3 hours and I force myself to study for the other 3 hours consecutively, which this time is really beneficial in your college. Whether I don't care what college you're going for, but it really helps. Time management is a perfect skill, and SU helps you to do that. For example, as you know, alhamdulillah, I scored really good in SAT 1 and SAT 2 along with the school, and they didn't help me in anything. All the marks are self-gained, and that happened actually towards the second term. The first term I wasn't quite good. To the second term, that's what I did. Tried to manage everything, but I had a period like from January to to make that was really difficult had three things: SU, TEDx, of course the media center, four things: TEDx, SU, media center, and the fourth thing was the TV show. So that was a hell of, I wouldn't say time wasted, I'd say time consumed. So the rest of the time I had to manage myself into the studies, and there you go. You get a result when you try to manage things together, and that's the time to develop. Second advantage is dealing with people. Of course, yeah, you gain confidence, you earned respect. Yeah, sometimes I would walk in the corridor, I swear I wouldn't know the names of the guys. They just salute you and they respect you so much. That's really good. And of course, dealing with people helps you. And being a president, you should be a model in everything. You couldn't be a president and you cuss in the corridors, you cuss your friends in front of others, or actually behind others. It doesn't matter. Don't cuss your friends. Praying and just maintaining polite manners with everyone, maintaining good relationships with everyone. That just helps you a lot, even in college. Now that's something actually I owe the OAS when I came to college. If I came from an old school to college, I would have suffered a lot because you should deal with people. It helps you to deal with friends and non-friends. Well, if you just be an ordinary student, that's what you do. You deal with your friends. You don't know people, new people. You don't come to know new people because you already have your friends. When do you know new people? When you have the SU. And to all of my shock, I actually lost many friends from those I had, and I gained many friends from the SU ones because I dealt with them much. And that came shockingly, but that's life. You lose a friend, you win one in the same day. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for the advantages. I'll go for the suggestions. I don't want to make the video a bit tall. Let's say first of all, yeah, this is something that actually saddened me in when I saw the presidency campaigns last year. All those people, of course, I gave suggestions to Ms. Daha on those whom I think would be perfect presidents. And last year, that's what I said in my presidency speech. I said that, guys, I'm not gonna be alone. Or first thing I'm gonna do, first brand new thing, I'm not gonna be alone. I'm gonna choose the best skilled people in 7 committees, and you guys just don't worry, I'll do everything. Thing is, I saw the presidency campaigns. They're all, of course, pointing to the thing of teamwork, but um, I, they should have developed that area much by saying, okay, you guys, I won't be elected alone. I'm elected. Excuse me. I'm elected with I'm elected when I'm elected, I have my team with me. I have 7 committees. Those committees have heads. Those heads are blah 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 and blah. If you would have done that, that would have gained them a much higher position, a much, of course, love with the student. The students would love that. And one more thing, one student would say, alright, I won't choose Fauzi, for example, because he's lazy. But if Fauzi has a team behind him, and one of those teammates he chooses to be active because he's smart enough to know that he needs an active person in the group. So I have a lazy Fauzi, and of course one of the members is active. So the audience is smart enough to realize, alright, this guy, I'm electing him. I hate him for that point, but in his team there's someone who can complete him. See guys, we're not flawless. We need people to complete us, to actually, let's say, mend us, in other words. And teamwork would do that. So then, that's a point I just wanted. I wanted the future president, to develop. And of course, another suggestion I would give is that those running with you for presidency, when you win the elections, offer them the best positions in the SU, because those are the most people who are eager to enter. For example, me and Ursh and I actually. Ursh and I were the last two running for presidency, and we agreed even before the elections that whoever is gonna win from us both, will take the president, of course. The whoever will lose will take the organization committee because it's the largest and it needs a lot of effort. And so, alhamdulillah, we were successful in that, and he's a perfect organizer. I mean, who am I to actually mention how Ursh was a perfect organizer, TEDx organizer, as most of you guys know. Same goes to all the members and all of the SU heads. Another suggestion is to make a timetable of all the events. It's really good because you can manage your timetables easily, the studies timetable, the set timetable, and the last thing is the SU timetable and the other events. And maintaining a member of the SU who would be working in the media center and trying to you know trying to, let's say, combine both works together and be like one great team, or as Miss May used to say, under the same umbrella. Anyway, so the next one, oh yeah, that's really important because some teachers actually argue about that a lot. That some of the SU members, or actually some who claim to be SU members, just get out of class. Oh, I'm SU. I'm going to a meeting. Of course, that's wrong. And my suggestion for that is the SU vice president, of course, his job is to listen to the president and try to learn from him and replace him in times. For example, Umar Samah, on the career day, he's the one who gave the speech welcoming everyone when I was absent on that day, and he learned much from the experience. So I just want to add one role to the vice president's role, and that's he's the only one responsible for getting the people required in the meeting to the meeting room. And of course, I would suggest, or I'd rather say that I'd prefer them in breaks, PE classes, or after school, as most of the campaigns I saw, or Hamdi's campaign said that. That was good. That was a good touch from him. Okay, one more thing is the consultation. I mean, good people like Rahman Ala and Muhsin, I think they're quite good people to consult. Anyway, I was saying consultation. What I mean by consultation, that's actually a deficiency. I confess to have done. I used to get the heads of the SU that are required in the meeting. For example, I need the IT, I need the organization. I would get them into a meeting, and I would exclude the others. I don't think that's right. I've tried it for a year, and it caused me many problems. The best thing to do is get all the SU at the same time. Get all the SU at the same time in order, even if they don't have a role in that event. And that's for what reason? For consultation. There are perfect people, perfect skills. And for example, I tell you, let's say the career day, for example. I got the IT, I got the organization, got the academics. It was organized by the academics, of course. I think a better touch would have been if I get the art committee. The art committee would have done some crafts and stuff that would have helped in that. The cancer day on the girls section, also the arts would have helped much. And the sports committee can be involved in everything because those people are talented and they would help you a lot. Anyway, I just don't want to make this any longer. I wish the new president good luck, and anytime I'll be there for him or her. And oh, one more thing to say before I leave OAS and give it like a big farewell. I would have anyone who needs any help in SAT1. I'll be glad to do so, and you know how to reach me. So thank you again for listening, and goodbye.